Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for Daily Death and Taxes. So today we are playing the blue-white D&T deck with Force of Wills that XJ Cloud brewed up. I would like to play first, and I feel like our opponent was a D&T player. No, last seen on Bant Snow. These should really be snow lands, by the way. And I really should have replaced the art, but here we are. I always forget to do that. I need to just sell all of these planes. Just all of them. Get them out of my deck. We're going to see the Thalia Force of Will combo coming up. It's a strong combo. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Thalia adds attacks to all of your spells, right? All the non-creature spells. So if I tap out for Thalia, I can't actually Force of Will to protect it. Yes, you thoughtseize me. This Meddling Mage is not going to be great. So, I'm kind of incentivized to play it to put some pressure on the board. No challenge today, or already through round one? I usually use Sundays to record daily D&T. Brainstorm? Oko? When you don't know what to name, Brainstorm can't be that bad. Nice. Alright, so not Bant Snow. Maybe some sort of bug snow, 4-color snow. Hand's very bad. It was fine before we lost the Thalia. So in case you're curious about why I don't play in more challenges, I tend to use a bunch of my weeknights to stream. So I give up every Monday and Thursday night to stream, right? And that lines up with my girlfriend's workout classes. She does Zumba on Monday and Thursdays. So I don't mind doing that, but I want to make sure I spend enough time on the weekend with her. And if I'm already spending my Saturday mornings streaming and my Sunday mornings recording daily D&T, I don't really also want to spend my entire day Sunday. I wish I could force that. My entire day Sunday playing in a Legacy Challenge. So I'll do it from time to time, but it's not something that I can commit to all of the time. I'm going to cast this True Name pre-combat to see if it resolves. Oh, it does. So I think this is one of those times where I go ahead and attack with a Mom. My opponent probably has very few answers to this True Name Nemesis in their deck. And getting in the 1 point of damage here means that even if both of these creatures were to somehow die, the True Name alone is a 4-turn clock. And I think I'm okay with all of that. Oko is also not necessarily the greatest thing since sliced bread on this board if my opponent can't also defend it. Well, there's something I was not playing around by playing another True Name Nemesis. Alright, Dead of Winter. So you asked me, how do we lose this game? That's the answer. We're going to hold up hard cast Force of Will rather than port my opponent this turn. And if my opponent doesn't cast anything threatening, I will just tap down their Bayou or something at the end of one of my turns, at the end of their turn. I'm sure this is something many of you have experienced, but Magic can eat a lot of your time. And it's important to balance how much time you put into Magic versus how much time you put into the rest of your life. So are you spending enough time like working out, eating right, taking care of yourself and stuff of that nature? I can like technically answer that with Swords of Plowshares and just like convert it into another card. And then save the Force of Will for something slightly more threatening than that. I think I'm okay with that. I could also just bounce it with Caracas. But I think a permanent answer here is fine. So my opponent is clearing the top of their library here. I think you can just take that draw. I don't think you need to Ice Fang now. Oh, do you have Drown in the lock? Alright. I'm not going to bounce that Leovold. Well, now I wish I had countered the Leovold, but don't think I could have anticipated the sword not resolving plus me drawing another Force of Will. That's essentially the situation where I really want the Leovold gone. I will concede if my opponent like has another Drown in the lock for this. Or a Force of Will. Yep, okay. So the good news is I think we're going to end up being favored here. Dead of Winter just completely blew me out, but now I can know to play around that for the future. So Deputy of Detention for Oko is pretty sweet. Force of Negation for Dead of Winter is pretty cool. Council Judgment for Oko is pretty good. Generally speaking, I don't know that I'm actually going to want that many Swords of Plowshares. The Ice Fangs are kind of annoying. So what ignores Ice Fang? Thalia and True Name Nemesis completely ignore Ice Fang. Maybe I need to keep a couple of these in. Like, Deputy of Detentioning them is kind of awkward. So if I know my opponent is playing a sweeper, then Mom loses a lot of value. Soul Herder does as well, but I still think I keep that around. If I cut all my Moms, I open myself up more to things like Decay that otherwise I might be able to protect from when I'm on the play. But I think I'm just going to play a nice slow game versus this deck. Make sure that I have enough ways to just stop the cards like Oko and Sylvan Library that are going to cause the game to spiral out of control. And hope to lean on the power of an Ether Vial opener. I don't think I want to go so far as, like, rest in peace to fight against Drown in the Lock and presumably Snapcaster Mage. But it's something I could have done. We're gonna need blue a lot of the time with this deck. So I need to hit a land drop with this deck to be functional. To be truly competitive, I need to hit the land drop turn 2. I think I have too many of the same parts of the deck. Like, I have 3 different 3 CMC answers. I don't have the ability to get to that. And I don't have any real play for the first 2 turns otherwise. I think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this one. Yeah, this hand is way better. Holy crap, this hand's good. I do not believe that I am ready for Soul Herder with this hand. So essentially, we just get to choke our opponent's mana for a little while, make some land drops, probably Vile rather than cast the True Name Nemesis. Have a hard cast Force of Negation available on turn 3 if I don't want to port my opponent. 100% will wasteland my opponent given the opportunity. Yeah, this game is going well. What are you gonna do with your 1 green mana? Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess they could have like Veil of Summer. It's not unreasonable. I think I'm just going to continue to choke my opponent's mana rather than play a Meddling Mage here. Like, this Meddling Mage can be Force of Negation fodder if I need it to be. Yes. That's not worth 2 cards. It's annoying because it makes my port worth so much worse, but if I'm going to spend 2 cards, I want to spend it on their actual card like Oko. So my next decision is, am I just going to tick this Venser up and like bounce one of my opponent's land? Or I can just hold up the Venser and use it as a tempo counter spell. Or a weird protection spell from True Name Nemesis. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. It's a little punishing. Alright, am I done choking my opponent's mana? I think I am. Like, with the Astrolabe in play, I lose a lot of power. Do I just bounce it back to my hand? I don't have another 4-drop, right? I don't have, like, a Jailer or anything. I don't. So I could just Venser this Recruiter back to my hand, which is kind of hilarious. But it might just be correct to accept the 2-for-1. Yeah. I'm going to accept this sweet value interaction. So the reason why I'm willing to accept this is I still have Force of Negation. For a Dead of Winter, which would be the single most detrimental card to my game currently. So Caracas is a real cool draw. I don't know if you all have ever assembled Caracas Venser before, but I used to do that when playing Miracles, and it's fun. So we'll always no to that. Oh, that's disgusting. Am I willing to trade Ice Fang for Venser? Yes. Yes, I am. It makes Soul Herder a worse top deck. But potentially, if I vomit some other creatures into play, it does real work. So if my opponent floats mana here, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure, you target the Brainstorm. So now I'm fine with letting it go to my opponent's main phase, because I can potentially leave them tapped out during my turn. It makes their Brainstorm slightly better, but gives me some flexibility to leave them with no ability to, like, Fatal Push or Spell Pierce or anything like that during my turn. That may or may not be a mistake. But essentially, like, if I just activate the port targeting the island in the upkeep, it does nothing, right? So, like, I gain nothing by doing that, whereas I might gain something by waiting. Okay, can I auto-stack triggers and get that to work? Let's figure that out, because that would be cool. So I don't have Brainstorm in this deck, so I can just go ahead and play out that land. opponent should definitely be floating here to try to get me to break up this mana between upkeep and draw step. Ah, that's frustrating. I expected that we had the answers to True Name covered. This was not the case. Okay, so I can't auto stack to deal with that. So now this port essentially does nothing. It denies a mana in keeping off of Hardcast Force, but we're not actually taking my opponent off of any combination of colors because of the Astrolabe. Well, at least any combination of colors that matters, right? So, like, I don't need to take them off of black in all likelihood. So I have enough removal spells in here that I probably shouldn't just just blindly attack into that. Not gonna play around back to basics. I've got Oko named. What else is just devastating? Dead of Winter is a 3 for 2. So I think I'm okay with them casting that. It sucks if Oko is the follow-up. So it should probably just be like Ice Fang Coatl or Abrupt Decay. I've already seen... So Abrupt Decay is a 1-for-1. Ice Fang Coatl is a 2-for-1. There's... I don't know how many decays they're playing, but it's probably between 2 and 4. Probably 3-ish, maybe 4. I think I am going to name Ice Fang, though. I don't want them to get a 2-for-1 that, like, takes out one of these meddling mages and also allows them to draw another card. Like, oh, wow. I'm going to take that, but it feels like I'm just going to get dead of wintered here, given that either that or my opponent has something like a Leovold that's just bigger than my creatures. Yep, say Levy. Alright, I have so many answers to Oko. How about we spike one? That does not answer Oko at this time. Okay. Well, I was going to name Ice Fang Coatl. Now I'll name Abrupt Decay instead. So I think my opponent just pluses on the Astrolabe and sends everything in, forces me to chump block, and then I basically can't win. Womp womp. Alright, we'll try again with this brew tomorrow, folks.